Science 10 Learners Packet, Week 3. Yan, ayos lang natin yung camera. So this time we're going to discuss about the Learners Packet in Week 3, wherein it is all about the coordination of nervous system and endocrine system to achieve homeostasis. So later on, we're going to discuss this homeostasis and how the nervous system and endocrine system coordinate with each other. So, what have you noticed on the picture? Ayan. So, may brain ma'am. Okay. Because nervous system, I think when you were in elementary, you already discussed this. Grade 5 or grade 6, the nervous system. The nervous system is a system of the body that connects all parts and transmits signal from one part to another. So, the nervous system have major division. The central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. What is the difference between the two? From the term itself, central. It is the center. The CNS or the central nervous system receives information from the sense organs, interprets this information, and generates responses. In peripheral nervous system, it connects the central nervous system or the CNS to the other parts of the body. It is subdivided into two division. Balikan natin si central nervous system. Central nervous system, the organ in this system is the brain and the spinal cord. Wherein, in brain, we have three parts. The cerebrum, and the brainstem. When we say cerebrum, ito yung part ng brain which is the largest part. At the same time, it controls the activity and thought. While the cerebellum, it connects or it is the under of cerebrum wherein it controls the body posture, the balance, at the same time, the coordination. And the brainstem, it is a part that connects the brain to the spinal cord and controls the automatic functions such as breathing, digestion, heart rate, and blood pressure. That is under of central nervous system. When it comes to peripheral nervous system, it has two divisions, the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. First, the somatic nervous system, it is the voluntary control of the movements of the body, wherein it is subdivided into two, the cranial and the spinal nerves. The spinal nerves, pag sinabi natin spinal nerves, it is the nerves that carry motor and sensory organ between the spinal cord and the body. While this cranial nerve, it is the nerve fibers that carry information in and out of the brain. The second one is the autonomic nervous system, wherein autonomic nervous system, it is the involuntary control of body movements. Involuntary. Ano po? Involuntary, pag sinabi nating involuntary, kusa. Kahit hindi natin gawin, kusa na siyang nagfa-function. So, we have two under of this nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. What is the difference between the two? When we say sympathetic nervous system, it is activated when the body is in dynamic role. Yan yung naririnig natin na tawag dito, yung kapag may sunog, Tapos si rep na hindi mo dati nabubuhat, bigla mong nabubuhat. Ayan. So, example of this is the heart rate, breathing, dilation, and pupil sweating. At the same time, sweating, pagpapawis natin, hindi natin mapipigilan yon. The parasympathetic, it maintains the body function and restores body to normal or relaxed mode. In sympathetic, ayan yung pag pinagpapawisan tayo, bumibilis yung heartbeat natin. Pag parasympathetic naman, ayan yung from galit na galit tayo, tapos kailangan natin ma-relax. Yan yung nerve na nagko-control dyan. Babalik tayo ulit sa relax mode. Ano po? Next. Next is still ganun pa rin. Okay. We have the brain. Yan. The nervous system controls and coordinates the activities of all body parts. All actions and thoughts are coordinated with the different complex organs and nerves, which enables us to receive stimuli and respond to these stimuli. So, ayan po yung sinabi ko kanina, the central nervous system, which is composed of brain and spinal cord. And as you notice, the peripheral nervous system, ayan po nasa baba, may under po siya the nerve and the ganglion. Ayan, the brain. I already discussed this a while ago. Your brain is the control center, or our brain is the control center of our body. It is responsible, of course, for learning, thinking, remembering, monitoring our surroundings, interpreting stimulus, and responding to it. This brain is a 3-pound organ which consists of 10 billion neurons that is protected by our skull. As what I've said a while ago, we have 3 main parts of the brain: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Cerebrum, the largest part of the brain. The cerebellum is located beneath the cerebrum, and the brainstem, it is known as the lower brain, responsible for involuntary life function. Next, neuron. When you hear the word neuron, narinig nyo na dati si neuron sa patalastas ni Kuya Kim. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, sabi niya sa patalastas niya na napapagod din daw po yung neurons natin. Ano nga ba yung neurons? Yan, neuron is also known as nerve cell. It is the basic functional unit of the nervous system. This is a specialized cell which consists of a cell body and several nerve fibers. Si nerve fibers naman are also called dendrites, wherein dendrites, it carry impulses towards the cell body. And the axon, it carries the impulses away from the cell body. Okay, so as you notice on the illustration, you have there the cell body. Look at the cell body. It is the cell's life support center, yung nasa gitna po. Then the dendrites, ayan po yung parang ugat-ugat, it receives message from other cell. Siya yung nakakonect sa other cell. While the axon, siya naman yung nagpapass ng message para sa other cell and other neurons. So, may makikita kayo dyan na myelin sheet wherein it is the covering of the axon. And we have the neural impulse wherein it is the nerve impulse or neural impulse. It is the electric signal traveling down the axon. So, ayan yung nagtra-travel. Then, we have the terminal branches of axon wherein it form junction with other cell. Pag sinabi natin junction, daanan. Yan. Okay. So, for the bring out your paper, kindly answer this. Learning task 1, brain teaser. Direction, choose the letter of the best answer. So, number 1, the division of the nervous system that serve as the main processing center for the entire nervous system is called blank. A. CNS, B. PNS, C. SNS, D. ANS. So, nababasa naman po natin, ano? Next, number 2. The part of neuron that transmits impulse toward the cell body is what we call A. Neurotransmitter, B. Axon, C. Nucleus, D. Dendrites. Number 3. The part of neuron that transmit impulse away from the cell body is what we call A. Neurotransmitter, B. Axon, C. Nucleus, D. Dendrites. Number 4. Which part of the brain is the largest and is divided into 4 lobes? A. Cerebrum, B. Cerebellum, C. Brainstem, D. Spinal cord. And number 5. Which part of the brain that controls posture, balance, and coordination? A. Cerebrum, B. Cerebellum, C. Brainstem, and D. Spinal cord. And number 6, which part of the brain controls the involuntary activities such as breathing, digestion, and heart rate? A. Cerebrum, B. Cerebellum, C. Brainstem, D. Spinal cord. Okay, that is for the learning phases. We have our development. Okay, ito na. What is the, how this nervous system coordinate with the endocrine system? So, the endocrine system is composed of many glands that secrete chemical messengers called hormones. At what we have discussed in week 1 and week 2, we discussed the hormones to the blood vessels to regulate the different activities of the body. Then the nervous system also regulates and controls the life functions. However, this NS or nervous system transmit messages by electrical signals that pass through neurons. Moreover, there is one particular part of the brain where the nervous system and endocrine system shakes hands. This is what we call the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus smallest part of the brain that is located, hypothalamus is a small gland located at the base of the brain. Maliit lang po siya na gland na located sa base ng brain wherein this hypothalamus, malaki yung function niya. It regulates the activities of the body, metabolism, and reproduction. So, yun po ang function ng maliit na yan. It regulates the activities of the body, metabolism, and reproduction. So, we have here the copy of endocrine glands and hormones. So, as you notice, we have the gland, the location, what hormones is being produced, what is the organ, and what is the function. So, we have the gland, the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus located at the brain. Ang hormone na naiproduce niya po is antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin. Target organ is the kidney and uterus, wherein the function of this is to regulate water reabsorption of the cell and for the contraction of uterus in giving birth. So that is the function of that. Next, we have the pituitary gland wherein located also at the brain. The hormone produced is what we call the growth hormone, the thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH, the adrenocorticotropic hormone, the follicle stimulating hormone wherein we discussed in, what do you call this? We discussed this in menstrual cycle, at the same time the luteinizing hormone. The target organ of this is, of course, the cells. We have the thyroid gland, the adrenal cortex, the testes, and the ovaries. The function of this is that it is responsible, of course, for the growth of cells and tissues, stimulates thyroid glands to secrete T4 and calcitonin. It also stimulates the adrenal cortex to secrete glucocorticoids. It also stimulates the gonads to produce sex cells. At the same time, it stimulates the gonads to produce sex hormones. Next, we have the thyroid located at the trachea. Hormones produced is thyroxine or T4 and calcitonin. The target organ is all cells, bones, and it is responsible for growth and metabolism. It reduces blood calcium level. Next, we have the parathyroid gland, wherein parathyroid gland is at the back of the thyroid. It produces parathyroid hormone. The target organ of this hormone is our bones. The function of this is to increase blood calcium level. Next, we have the thymus. It is located at the back of the sternum. The hormone produces the thymosin. We have the target organ is all cells, of course, and the function of this is to stimulate production of T cells for immunity. Next, we have the adrenal glands. It is located at the top of the kidney. The hormone produces glucocorticoid and epinephrine and non-epinephrine. The target organ is all cells, the heart, the bones, and the muscles. The function of this is for inflammation and immune system, for fight and flight response during stress. So that is the function of that. Next, the pancreas, wherein located at below the stomach. Hormone produced is the insulin and glucagon. For sure, familiar kayo kay insulin. Yan, naririnig natin yan sa mga diabetic person. The target organ of this is the liver and the muscles. And the function of this is to lower blood sugar or glucose level. So that is the function of this insulin. It also raises blood sugar or glucose level. Kaya dapat normal lang lagi. And of course, the last gland wherein we have the testes and the ovaries, wherein it is located, at the pelvic region in our body. The hormone produced of this gland is that for the boys or for the testes, we have the testosterone and androgen, and for the female, we have the progesterone and the estrogen. Of course, the target organ of this is the sex organs, and the function of this is, of course, it is responsible for male secondary sex characteristics. At the same time, kay babae, ganun din po, for the female secondary sex characteristics. So that is the endocrine glands and their hormones. Do you ever wonder why you chill whenever you're feeling cold and you sweat whenever you're feeling hot? Yan, bakit nga ba? This is your body's mechanism to maintain balance. So as you notice, pag nilalamig tayo, magkukumot tayo, pero automatic parang nakakaramdam na rin tayo ng init. Meron tayong tinatawag na homeostasis. This homeostasis is the maintenance of internal balance in non-organisms despite of many changes in the environment. Lalo na sa tayo, kahit na gaano kalamig, still ipoprovide natin sa katawan natin na maging warm pa rin. This mechanism is responsible for regulation and maintenance of internal environment of our body. So, communicating systems of body responds immediately to change from different conditions in internal environment. Since this nervous system and endocrine system are both carrying information to all parts of the body, they also considered as the communicating system through nerve impulse and hormones. They dictate to target cell or organs in the body how to respond with internal and external changes. So, yun po yung function ni homeostasis natin. Next. There are so many factors in our body that should be maintained to a set point of or normal levels like our temperature, fluids, nutrients, and more. We have these feedback mechanisms. These feedback mechanisms help keep these things balanced or homeostasis. Yung how we responds to the environment, that is feedback mechanisms. There are negative feedback and positive feedback loops. So, what is the difference between the two? Pag sinabi nating negative feedback, it is the control system that reduces or even stop the body from producing changes when favorable or stable conditions are met. When favorable or stable conditions are met, on the other hand, positive feedback is a control system that causes the end product of an action to produce more that action to occur into the feedback loop. So, to maintain this homeostasis, coordination between the nervous system and endocrine system is very essential. So, pag negative feedback, ito na yung control system na kayang dagdagan o kayang i-stop ang pag-produce ng changes sa body natin. Pag positive feedback naman, ito naman yung nagko-cause wherein it ends the products of action. Tinitigil na niya. We have the parts of the feedback loop. So, we have the stimulus. Pag sinabi nating stimulus, it is something that disrupts the body's homeostasis. Sensor naman, syempre familiar kayo, pag sensor, ayan yung pag may nade-detect na changes sa homeostasis, nalalaman kaagad natin. Next. Control center, it is the part of the body that responds to the changes and takes actions, wherein the pituitary gland in the brain is the control center. Next, we have the effector. It is any organ of the cell that ultimately responds to the stimulus. Effector, it is the response to the stimulus. And the response, it is from the effector balance out of the original stimulus to maintain homeostasis. Example of this part feedback loop is pag magluluto tayo, syempre, what do you call this, magpiprito kayo ng itlog. Lalagay nyo bubuksan si kalan, may apoy, lalagay tawag dito, si kawali. Ngayon, pag ilalagay, kailangan mainit na. Kayo, ang gagawin ninyo para malaman na mainit na, yung kamay ilalagay sa ibabaw ng kawali or makikita natin na may usok. That is the sensor. Stimulus yung ginagawa natin. Then, the control center, isipin na ng ating brain na kailangan ng magprito. Ngayon, yung effector naman po is any organ or cell that ultimately respond to the stimulus. Yun na yung gagawin natin. And yung response, yung tawag dito, balances out the original stimulus to maintain the homeostasis. So, aayusin na natin yung pagluto para hindi tayo mapasok. Yan. So, we have the thermoregulation. Pag sinabi nating thermoregulation, may copy po kayo niyan on your lip. It is the ability of organism to keep its body temperature within certain boundaries even when the surrounding temperature is very different. So, ayan po, thermoregulation keeps the body's temperature within certain boundaries. So, the normal temperature rises above normal. Thermoregulation center in the brain is activated. The sweat glands secrete sweat that evaporates, then cooling the body. Blood vessel in skin dilates and heat escapes. And if the temperature falls below normal, thermoregulation center in the brain is again activated. Then, the internal body temperature is approximately 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. So, yun po lagi yung ng katawan natin. 36, usually ang natin is 37 is the pinaka-normal. But, the internal body temperature approximately is 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. Next, we have the blood glucose regulation. It is the process by which the level of blood sugar, primarily the glucose, are maintained by the body within a narrow range. This tight regulation is referred to as glucose homeostasis. So, ayan po si pancreas, naglalabas ng insulin. Then, liver takes up all the glucose and stores as glycogen. Then, body cells take up more glucose. Then, blood glucose level drops below set point. The pancreas secretes glucagon. Yan, para maging normal ulit. Then, adipose cell glucose break down fat. Then, liver breaks down glycogen into glucose again. Then, homeostasis or the balance in our blood glucose is 90 milligram of glucose per 100 ml of blood. So, that is the normal. Again, the normal blood glucose is 90 milligram glucose per 100 ml of blood. Next, we have the blood calcium regulation. Pag narinig natin yung word na calcium, ang sa isip kagad natin is bone, wherein it is regulated by parathyroid hormone, which is produced by the parathyroid glands. PTH is released in response to low blood calcium levels. It increases calcium levels by targeting the skeleton, the kidneys, and even the intestines. So, ayan po yung cycle. The homeostasis in blood calcium regulation is 10 milligram of calcium per 100 ml of blood. Again, the homeostasis of blood calcium is 10 milligram of calcium per 100 ml of blood. Next, for the learning task 2, who is in charge? At the back of your paper, kindly answer this. Fill the shapes below with words from the box to complete the feedback loops. So, blood calcium level. So, that is the word. Below, you're going to write that on the shape in blood calcium level. And in blood glucose level, that is the boxes or shape box shapes, then that is the words for the feedback loops. For our engagement, okay, familiar na kayo dito, the sum of the diseases or disorders. We have the diabetes. It is a disease caused by very high blood sugar level. So, diniscuss natin kanina, kailangan naka 90 milligram lang tayo per 100 ml of blood. Yun dapat yung pinaka-normal natin. Next, we have the tumor on the parathyroid glands. It is caused by hyperparathyroidism or when there is too high calcium level on the blood. So, how can we avoid this? So, here is the direction. Kindly choose one of the disease you would like to discuss. 1. Diabetes. 2. Parathyroid cancer. After you choose, you're going to choose one media presentation you would like to use. It is poster or brochure. So, papakita ninyo paano ninyo i-discuss si diabetes through poster ba or through brochure. Familiar naman kayo sa brochure, di ba? Okay, next. The third one is you're going on that poster or brochure, you're going to promote awareness about your chosen disease or disorder by discussing its causes, symptoms, treatment, and suggested lifestyle. So, ano yung mga dapat gawin? Ano yung meron pag diabetic ka? Kapag may tumor ka sa parathyroid gland, paano siya magagamot? So, yun yung ipapakita ninyo in poster or in brochure. For our assimilation, do you know what a thermostat is for? Naririnig na po, pag narinig natin si thermo or thermos, ang papasok sa isip natin, init. Tama po ba? Yan. If the temperature inside your house drops below the set point, the thermostat turns on the furnace until set point is reached. If the temperature rises above the set point, the thermostat turns on the air conditioner until the set point is reached. Do you know that our body can regulate temperature too? Ang katawan natin. So, for this, kindly answer this. Again, explain briefly how your body can regulate temperature. And the second one, cite one more example of feedback mechanism that your body can perform. So, ano pa yung feedback mechanism na kayang i-perform ng body natin? One only. And for our assessment, kindly answer this by writing true or false. Answer only. Number 1, homeostasis is the mechanism used by our body to maintain balance despite of changes. Number 2, when our brain detects that there is high calcium level in our blood, it signals the parathyroid gland to secrete calcitonin that will help deposit calcium in our bones. Number 3, insulin is released by our pancreas when our brain detects that there is a high glucose or sugar level in our blood. Number 4, when our body temperature falls below normal, our brain signals our skeletal muscles to contract and shiver to generate heat. And lastly, osmoregulation is the ability of our body to maintain temperature. I'm going to check your work when you passed it. And for that, thank you very much for listening. Hope you learn a lot from me. I'm again Ma'am Annalisa Gibaga Fernandez, your science teacher.